From the Burrow at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin, it's Chucking It Up with Eric and Dan.
Welcome back to Chucking It Up. This is episode 17.
Yeah, and the Woodchucks are headed to the playoffs.
Hell yeah, they are. Let's go.
Second half champs, baby.
Sorry,
go.
Ducks, the team down south. Enjoy your off season. Sorry, Donnie boy.
Not this year, but yes, very exciting. It's playoff time for the Chucks. Home field advantage in this first round. And yeah, the job's not finished. But we do have an exciting episode for you guys today. We're going to do our normal recap, run through the Woodchucks last week. We'll touch on the postseason All-Stars for the Ignite and the Woodchucks. And then we've got a interview with a former Woodchucks pitcher, Grant Siegel.
Yes, so we can just jump right into the postseason All-Stars for the Ignite. They had two of them, Riley Schwizo and friend of the pod, Mia Johnson.
Yeah, so no playoffs for the Ignite this year, but still had two All-Stars, and both Riley and Mia had great seasons, great players, so very well deserved. And then the Chucks had a couple postseason All-Stars as well. Max Solis Jr. was one, Noah Malone, SJ, and Dylan Schlotterbach, who should have been
All-Star to begin with.
But at least they recognized him in the postseason All-Stars.
That was a huge snub. Huge
that
snub.
Was. Still doesn't feel right, but at least he got recognized this time. Very well deserved.
And our friend of the pod, Landon Sexton, was another snub. I'm bringing him up because we didn't congratulate him last week on his commitment to Middle Tennessee. Proud of you, Landon.
Yeah, and also we, if you didn't hear, speaking of Max Solis and commitments, he is running it back at Kansas.
Rock chalk, baby.
I know he had committed to Hawaii there, but turns out he's actually going back to Kansas now. So congrats to Max and Landon for their commitments. And then, yeah, Amar, too. He committed to Wichita State yesterday. Is that right? Wichita State?
Yep.
So we're going to try to get him on here soon, too, as well. So just
Not try, we will. Amar's
he wants to
down
come
the pipeline.
on. Yeah. So look for that. And, yeah, just a couple commitments there that we wanted to touch on.
But we could jump right into the scores. Last week, Monday, August 4th, at Fond du Lac, Chucks won 13-8.
Yeah, and then on Monday, Fond du Lac came to town.
You mean on Tuesday?
Did I say Monday?
Yeah.
My bad. I just have the dates here. Yeah, on 8-5 on Tuesday, Fond du Lac came to town and took care of the Dock Spiders again, 7-4.
What is a Dock Spider?
We don't know.
Oh.
The Woodchucks needed to have a clean sweep here this week to make the playoffs, so they started it out good, 2-0.
We went against the big rival this year. We don't like them. They don't like us. And it didn't go well for us. We lost on Wednesday at Green Bay, 3-4.
Yeah, and we did talk to some players, and yeah, they confirmed that there is no love lost between these two teams. They are not fans of each other, so definitely a rival. Yeah, we stayed in Green Bay then the next day on August 7th. Fortunately dropped that one as well, 4-2.
We lost 5-10.
Oh, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
We'll forgive Dan. It's 5-10.
I have it written down too. I wrote it down too, 5-10. I don't know why I just said that.
So Thursday they lost to Green Bay, 5-10.
Yeah. So 2 straight losses on the road then. Made the playoff race with the team down south. A little more interesting.
We're all knotted up at this point.
Yeah. And they played they had one more extra game than us.
Whoops.
To go. We have 2 left at this point against the Raptors at home. They have 3 at home, or was in Green Bay.
A doubleheader in Green Bay and then one down south yesterday.
So
Saturday.
at this point, we needed to take care of business, win our last 2, and hope they dropped 1 somewhere. And
Friday night,
yeah,
it was a bad day to be a Rafter. Those 2 losses
Yes.
in Green Bay, we took everything out on the Rafters. And to all Raptors fans, their players, I'll apologize. But we spanked you 21-5.
Yeah, we scored 7 in the first inning. They scored 5 all game. Just needed 1 inning. Give credit to the Raptors fans who even made the trip to Wausau. You guys are
For both
real ones
games.
for that. Yeah. So we took care of business. The team down south took care of business in their first game. They beat Green Bay, so things were still interesting and knotted up. But luckily, they couldn't finish
And they let one slip.
their business and lost the second game of the doubleheader. So all we needed to do was win on Saturday, and the Woodchucks would be in the playoffs.
And that we did. It was closer than we would have liked, but cardiac Chucks, when their backs are always against the wall. Cade Douglas came in, got out of a jam, and came back in the 9th, and the Chucks headed to the playoffs with a 5-3 victory over the Rafters.
Yeah, it was closer than a lot of games against the Rafters, but there was really never any doubt, at least in our minds. Woodchucks took care of business and are in the playoffs,
And the playoffs start today. We're headed to Green Bay. Game's at 5:05. You guys won't hear this till tomorrow, Monday, but schedule is game 1 today, 5:05 at Green Bay. Game 2, 3 if necessary, will be at the Burrow. Game 2 is 6:05 first pitch. And game 3, like I said, if necessary, projected time would be 6:35.
Yeah, and it was truly a damn shame for the team down south too, because they won yesterday. So they took care of their business, but we didn't hold up our end of the deal and didn't lose. So sorry, Ducks. Maybe next year.
Sorry, Donnie.
Yep.
Sorry,
have
boys.
to try again next year.
You're a great team, but you guys can all fly back home.
But fly down south for the winter.
Yep, you can head south for the winter. Summer League ball is over with. But now, let's forget about the team down south. They're not in it. We got to face the Rockers, and the Rockers are the only team currently that does have a winning record against the Chucks this season. So it's going to be a tough challenge. We don't like them. They don't like us. Game 2 and 3, that would be Monday, Tuesday. The Burrow needs to be packed.
Yes.
Not much more can be said. Pack that thing.
Get there and be loud. Like, come on. The model all year has been jobs not finished.
And it's not finished yet.
So they made it to the playoffs. Step 1.
We need to help them get to the further steps.
Yes.
And these could possibly be the last 2 games in the Burrow if the game 3 is necessary, because there's 2 teams that are better than us. So they would have home field throughout. But if those teams lose, it could run through the Burrow. But let's handle our business with Green Bay, and we'll worry about the next steps after that. So
yes. So let's do our part as fans. We're not on the field, so we can't control that. But we can be there. We can be loud. You hear us chanting ball 5, keep them in, whatever it is. Let's go, Chucks. Be there.
Be rowdy. And let's create that home field advantage.
Yes.
It matters. They've won 20 games in a row at the Burrow. They didn't lose in the second half at home.
Yeah.
Home field matters. Let's go. Let's go, Chucks.
Yeah, and again, don't be afraid. If you hear us chanting, join in. Don't be scared. We want you to join us. And, let's just be loud. Let's show the Chucks why they have won 20 straight at home.
And let's be a nightmare for the Rockers for when they step off the bus and enter the Burrow, that it's not going to be fun for them there. All right? They step off that bus, they need to know the Burrow is a complete nightmare for them.
Yep. And they, remember, they said these teams do not like each other. Players have confirmed this. So
there's a lot of trash talk going on. I know our guys will be as professional as they come, but if we don't cross the line, but we can get it closer to the line than the players can, and we need to create that home field advantage. It's got to be a nightmare. But we're going to toss it up to Grant.
Yeah.
Great interview to Grant, and let's go, Chucks. Let's finish the job.
Yep. See you at the Borough. Let's go.
Joining us next on the pod is a former Northwoods League All-Star. He threw the last Woodchucks no-hitter and went 4-1 as a Chuck. Please welcome Grant Siegel.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
Hey, Grant. Welcome to Chucking It Up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can just jump right into it here. You played with the Chucks back in 2024.
Yeah, last summer.
And then the Kingfish the year before that.
Yep. With Kenosha.
Yeah, so what was that like? Playing with Kenosha and then going to the Woodchucks. Obviously, the seasons were really different team-wise.
Yeah, no doubt. Kenosha was cool. It was a cool welcome to the Northwoods, so it was all new to me. I definitely had a good time there, and then the next summer, knowing that I was going back to the Northwoods, I was excited, and then finding out I was going to Wausau. Obviously, that was a new team, and then that was awesome. I say it all the time, playing in Wausau last summer, that was some of the most fun I've had playing all of college. It's like school including. So there's just so many good people with Corey running the show for us, and Adkins are the pitching coach for the team, and just the guys. It was just so much fun. We had such a good group of different personalities that worked. So it was so loose. It was so much fun.
How did you get connected to both of those teams, Kenosha and then to Wausau?
Yeah, so I was at West Virginia before I got to UCF. West Virginia, they sent me there. So they hooked that up. The operations guy, the coaches, they put me there. And then UCF, we also have our operations guy that they talk with the coaches and kind of hey, where's a spot for him to go get some innings in, and so they set that up for me.
Was there ever a chance that you were returning to Kenosha?
Not that I know of, no. I think the different coaching staff and new school, everyone has their different connections and coaches and who they know. So for me, it was just I had to sit that year because I was a 2-time transfer, and that was before the new rule that came out of now you can transfer as many times as you want, I believe. So I had to sit that spring. So that was a big thing for me. That was a huge summer for me going into Wausau where no one's seen me throw in the whole spring, and it was kind of get your name back on the map again and go show what you can do and get ready for school ball and show UCF what you can do as well.
So you were basically told you're going to Kenosha and then you're going to Wausau?
Yes, sir. So it was basically hey, where am I going for summer ball? All right, we got you a spot in Wausau. You'll go there, and then they'll basically just tell you, hey, report by this date, and that's what I did. And with Corey, it was awesome because he knew that I hadn't played in the spring and I was going to be a day one guy. And he was super great at communicating with me, and I really appreciated it. He was basically what are you built up for your first outing? What have you been doing? What have you been up to? So he kind of moved my first start around based on my travel and how many pitches I was throwing. So my first outing was 3 innings. Then after that, I was ready to go just because I hadn't thrown the whole spring in a game. That first game was my first time pitching in an actual game in a year, besides fall scrimmages and spring scrimmages, but that's not the same.
So with the Kingfish, did they have an opportunity to say we want him back?
I'm not sure. I think a whole year went by, so I don't know. If that was a thing, I don't know about it.
And what was the different in the team dynamics between the Kenosha and Wausau?
Yeah, I just think Wausau was definitely, it felt like school ball. Corey, from day one, we had stuff on the whiteboards in the locker room and show up to play. And Corey talked about you guys aren't here to just you are here to get better, obviously, but you're not here to stat pack and just try and go out there and don't care about your team. Don't be he was very professional and the standard, very loose, but very it was understood. We're here to win. You're here to get better. Take this serious. There's fans here that are coming to watch you. There's scouts that are coming to watch you. This isn't the time to just mess around, and it was just good though. It was all principle based. And then after that, when we won so much, it was it was loose. It was so much fun, and it was just hey, you guys are winning. Go do your thing. It felt very, very team bonded, which was awesome.
And see you played in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League. Is that anything like the Northwoods, or totally different?
I mean, in terms of, I think competition and crowds and all that stuff, totally different. But like the way things get run of like, hey, we have 4 or 5 games a week or whatever it was. At least I remember. I was years ago. That was before I even got to college, and that was when I first started pitching. So that's why Tulane sent me there to like basically be a pitcher for the first time, because I was committed to Tulane as like 2A. Then before I got there, I was like, I'm just gonna pitch. It was kind of like a mutual thing. Is probably the best route for you. Um, so yeah, I had a great experience there too. Though I really had great coaches and teammates there as well. But Wausau, I mean, we had a game. I forgot who we were playing. I think there was like 3,500 people there, or 3,000 people, or whatever. Like that's not normal. That's not a normal summer game. When in South Florida, sometimes there's 20 people there, maybe. So that was way different. That's so much fun though. That was the best. Like that's what like some region. Like I pitched in a regional with West Virginia at Kentucky, and it was like same thing. Like I think there was like 3,000 people there, 4,000 people. So it's like basically a regional atmosphere. So that's a big difference. That was awesome.
So was that like the biggest shock, the fans, or was there a different type of shock when you
So
got there?
I actually heard about Wausau before I got there. Like, you know how players talk and kind of like, hey, have anyone been there and what's the rundown or whatever. And I don't think I knew anyone that specifically went there, but I know that our operations guy Morgan Depew, who set that stuff up, like who I talked to the most for summer ball, he was like, Corey's a great dude, heard great things about him, and like they bring in a good amount of fans and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I got there and I was like, oh yeah, like they really do.
When you had played with Kenosha, you came to Wausau, right? And played?
I'm not sure if I did. I kind of did the same thing in Wausau that I did with Kenosha, where I was lucky as a pitcher, where if my start didn't line up with a trip, I didn't have to go. I would stay back, do
Okay.
my lifts, and throw my bullpens or do whatever I needed to do. So I'm a little spoiled with that for sure, compared to the position players that are on that bus every single time that there's the road trip.
Sorry. Here you
So
go.
you went to Tulane. Were you
Yes.
ever gonna play position? I know you said you went as a 2A.
Yeah, I committed. So I committed to Tulane on I think my 16th birthday of high school, and I played shortstop, and I really didn't pitch all through high school. I think I had 11 innings pitched for my high school team, and so really didn't pitch. And then as high school went on, especially me trying to play professionally and stuff, and I had a lot of people in my corner that I trust a lot that were basically telling me like, hey, we think you're highest ceiling. Like if you really want to go and try and make a run at this thing, it would be pitching. So I was like, oh, that's a no brainer for me. So decided to do that. The Tulane coaches, I think they were leaning towards that anyways. They saw more upside as a pitcher. So when I got to campus, it wasn't even like a hey, do you want to hit? Or it was kind of like talk to Jay Ullman, who was the assistant coach, recruiting coordinator at the time, and he was basically just like, hey, like we think you made the right decision, and let's just see where it goes.
So yeah, so when you started pitching, were you a reliever or a
No,
starter?
I mean in the South Florida Collegiate League, just because I was, or not just because, but probably because I was so young and fresh out of high school, hadn't been in college when there was college guys there, like sophomores, juniors. I started as a reliever, and then I worked my way. Like I had a couple good outings, then um, I started a couple games there. I think I threw only like I don't know what it was, maybe like 17, 20 innings there. So I didn't really throw. It was literally just to like try and get a little work in before college, get your feet wet, and then Tulane was basically like, okay, you're good. Like you threw enough for us. That's all we wanted you to throw.
So then you went to West Virginia.
Yep.
Yeah, and how was that different from like Tulane?
Yeah,
That's obviously a
definitely.
bigger school, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely way different. Going from the American Athletic to the Big 12 for sure. And that was the Big 12 with Texas and Oklahoma, and like those were big dogs, like big schools. Like I remember going to Texas. That was that's probably the craziest place I've ever played. especially the timing of when we played them and stuff. I think we were 6th in the nation when we went into to them to play them, and I think there was like 7 or 8,000 people there every day that we played the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's a big difference from anything that I really experienced versus when I was at Tulane. With that being said, though, we did play Mississippi State after their national championship, but we played at home. We didn't go to them, so I didn't get to go to an SEC and experience that. But obviously, like, you notice little things though, like they pull up in a custom bus with their all like painted out with their faces and names and whatever and stuff like that. But I think that was definitely a big difference, and I think another big difference was the athleticism and the tools. So I think like at West Virginia, where at a Tulane, if someone's throwing 95, like there might be 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. West Virginia, I got there and I'm like, it felt like everyone was throwing 93, 95, and it's just so much more common. And the amount of draft picks and just stuff like that. And Tulane gets a lot of draft picks, don't get me wrong, they absolutely do every year. But West Virginia, seeing like I play with JJ Weatherholt, you know what I mean? So like that's a huge like playing with a first round potential first pick, seeing that every day and the way he was. And Carlson Reeder, I believe he was a 4th rounder or 3rd rounder. David Hageman was a 3rd or 4th rounder. Aiden Major was a 5th rounder. And I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anybody, but there's so many kids on that team. And the year and a half I was there that got drafted or signed, it's pretty unbelievable. So I think there's definitely a difference for sure, like in the athleticism, where like maybe like the depth of lineups for sure, like just that, like more competitive. It's like it's just better athletes. That's the best way to put it. Better athletes. Like a double here is a homer there. A ball in the gap is caught versus dropped. A double is or a triple, like versus a double, like stuff like that.
So when you're playing with all these like great athletes and high draft picks, obviously there's major league scouts at your games a lot. Does that help you out, knowing that like maybe they're not there to necessarily watch you at that moment, but they'll still see you out there pitching?
Absolutely, 100%. Actually, JJ talked, like he made a comment one time and it really stuck with me. And he was basically like, I never thought of it this way, but it's very true because I'm always much like just like one day at a time, like not necessarily so much bigger picture at times. But he said like he talked to a couple of us, we were in the room, and it was basically like the further we go, the more guys get drafted. And I was like, wow, I never thought of that. When he's sitting there thinking about like making a College World Series run, knowing that if all of us, including himself, gets more at bats, that just gives everyone more of a chance to rise their stock at an even bigger stage versus better competition in front of more scouts. So like to answer your question 100%, like when there's all these guys, especially, I mean, Tulane for sure, there was a bunch of scouts, but I wasn't even thinking about that because I was a freshman, so I wasn't as aware of it. But at West Virginia for sure, where fall scrimmages, sometimes there's 20 scouts there from every team and all that type of stuff. So 100%, especially when there's guaranteed picks on your team like that, where guys are throwing upper 90s or whatever it is, or like JJ's doing what he was doing, where like cross checkers in there, and it's not just area guys, it's like decision makers are at these games of basically like, hey, this guy is going to get drafted because I like them. So that's pretty cool, and it definitely helps. And it helps you like not even from necessarily the scouting standpoint, it makes you better. If you're like not being the best on the team is a great thing. You get to be around guys that are constantly pushing you, of like in the gym, of seeing if you thought like, I don't know, deadlifting 315 was good, and then you walk in some days and guys are doing 500 and it's like, oh wow, like I gotta, you know what I mean, this is good, I gotta compete. Like if he's doing that, I gotta get close, or just stuff like that. It definitely helps. It definitely helps. But at the same time though too, it makes it much more competitive to get innings, which is like anything though. Like the more deep you are, the better team you have, and you just really have to buy into your role, whatever that is. And most of the time in college, it's ever evolving roles. It's rare that you get one role and it stays the same way the entire year.
So then, why did you leave West Virginia to go to Central Florida?
Yeah, so I had my year at West Virginia. I didn't have a great year, kind of struggled a little bit for the first time, especially after having the freshman year that I had. And I just felt like it was kind of mutual where just my headspace of being a Florida guy in West Virginia was tough on me. And I came back for the fall. I really did want to make it work. And I know the coaches did as well, especially I think I was third or fourth in innings on the team the year before. And it was just one of those things where it was just like, for me, I needed to make the best decision for me and my family. And it felt like making a move. I wish it did work out there. I do. I didn't want to leave again because that was, like I said, it would have been a second transfer. But looking back, nothing bad with West Virginia, but I am definitely the most happiest I've been at UCF for sure, especially being a Florida boy, born and raised in Florida. Like, it's the best. I like it's just amazing, like practicing in shorts sometimes and being in that sun in Orlando and knowing I'm 3 hours away from my dad, my stepmom, my grandma. Like, that's awesome to me.
It's the same things Max Galvin said about playing at Miami.
Oh yeah, like we talked about that stuff because he was at Oak State, and obviously I was with Max. I love Max. Max is crazy, but Max is the man. But yeah, we literally talked about that, and that's what made that team so much fun. Is like we would have these conversations that I feel like on most teams you can't really have those conversations, or it's like it just doesn't really happen as much. Versus like me and Max like can relate. Like he went to Oak State, I went to West Virginia. He came back home to Miami. I came back home to UCF, and it's like we love it.
You were teammates with Espy in college last year, right?
Yeah, yeah, and with on Wausau.
Yeah.
Yeah, SP's the man. That was exciting too. So that was another great thing for me, and maybe this is why Wausau worked out great too. Is I know that that was part of me going there as well. Is knowing that SB was an incoming transfer to UCF. So they were like, you guys would be teammates. Would be perfect. You guys can start bonding in the summer, basically, you two, and you'll have someone there that you also know is going to UCF. And at that time, Jet Sleepak was also going to UCF at that time. So it was actually the three of us that were UCF guys. So it was cool. It was great. Love SB. Super happy for him as well. Definitely well deserved, no doubt.
Yeah, so back to when you were playing with with some of these guys that were really high draft picks. Like, do those guys still like stay team focused, or does it ever shift for them where it's like, now I got to focus on myself and, getting drafted, or are they always, you have to.
I think the guys that I personally dealt with were definitely team guys for sure.
Oh, that's
Like
cool.
they're there to win because I think they all had that understanding of the better we all do, we all eat. Like it's
That's
not
cool.
like if like they had that good understanding of like your success has nothing to do with someone else's success and their success has nothing to do with your success for anything negative. It only is positive. If I do great, it should bring the best out of you and it should be like, all right, well, like me and my roommate Hageman, he was drafted. He was drafted to the Rangers. He just got he's part of a trade. But he was my roommate on the road a good bit. And we always talked about that. Like that's how it should be. Where if he goes out and punches six and gives us up one or none, my goal should be to outdo him and vice versa. And that's gonna take us further than being like, dang, he had a really good outing. Now am I not gonna pitch? I think that's a horrendous. That's horrible. That's losing mindset. It's losing mentality. But I think the only time guys get like cautionary, which is I think pretty rightfully so, is just their health. I think if their health is like something where they're dinged up or it's going to affect their performance, I do think most guys like in the back of their mind, like you don't want to risk a serious injury like that, especially depending on where you come from and the financial background. That's life-changing stuff to help you and your family that you can't really risk, which I don't think anyone would be mad at that. I think every coach, every player, every fan should like understand that and respect that.
Yeah, so then when you went to Kenosha, so you guys lost a lot of games. Like I think it was like 41 games you lost or something.
Yeah.
Does that, like, even though that's just a summer league, does that ever take a toll on you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anything you do, you want to be a winner. For sure. You want to be around winners and you don't ever want to get comfortable. Like I don't ever want to be like, yeah, I'm okay with losing. Like no, absolutely not. Especially like at the end of the day, like when you're on those teams, you are on that team, so you are a part of it. So like when like I think, but at the same time, I'm a big guy. Like I try and control what I can control. The only thing I can control in the days that I'm not pitching is going out there, cheering people on, being a good teammate. And then other than that, like that's what I can do. But especially on those like when we're trying to win, the days I had the ball, I'm like I'm gonna do everything in my power to pitch at my best and help us win. And that's really all. That as a pitcher, that's all your job is to do, and that's what you're supposed to do, especially as a starter. Get off to a good start, and if you're rolling and doing well, it's your job to go at least 5, save the bullpen, give a quality start, and give the team a chance to win. That's really your job as a starter, anyone's job. Which that I think that's a recipe for success to win a lot of games. Is for me, my mindset's always I'm trying to go as long as I can, give up as the least amount of runs that I can, walk the least amount of people, and pass it to the next guy and win the game.
Or maybe throw a no-hitter.
Yeah, it's hard to score.
How far into that game? I know it was only 7 innings.
Yeah,
Did you know you had it? Like, today's a good day. Or did that never cross your mind?
I really I hate to say that because I know like it'd be cool to be like first pitch. I knew I was on,
Right.
but nah. I think I'm a guy. I think where it's just like I'm in control, but at the end of the day, you don't have that much control. Like at the end of the day, there is a lot of luck, and it's God allowing you to do like these things and stuff like that. So I think of it more that way. Where at the end of the game, I'm like, wow, that was pretty cool. It's kind of like a deep breath almost. It's like, all right, that was a good one. Versus like in the middle of it, or like, oh, I know it's gonna go well the rest of the time. I don't really do well thinking like that.
And that
What-
one was against a pretty talented team in Madison.
Yeah,
They were loaded.
yeah, they
So
were.
that makes it even more impressive.
No, I appreciate that. For sure. I mean, we had a great defense though. We had Galvin. Galvin made a diving play that game, if I remember correctly. Berkland was great the whole summer at shortstop for
He's
me.
crazy defensively.
Yeah, he was great for me. I love it. We would say it all the time, like, "Hey, ground balls coming. I'm just gonna feed you ground balls." Like, especially that's the way I pitch. And then even like SB at second, the days he was at second, and SJ Christian being in the
Another crazy guy in the outfield.
yeah. So like I had all those guys where I'm just like, great. I'll just let him go run it down.
So at what point were you aware that you were throwing a no-hitter?
I wasn't.
You had no idea.
No idea.
And no one said anything to you?
No, of course not. They can't.
Yeah, Dan,
They
come on.
can't.
Wow.
They'll jinx it.
So you got done with the game and then you're like, I threw a no-hitter. Didn't know
Well,
before
so
that.
one of the media people came up to me like, "You just threw in, like I forgot what the exact history or whatever you want to call it was, but they're like, you just threw the whatever something no hitter CG," and I was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool." And then I was like, "Oh, now I know."
That's
So
crazy.
how was what, Dan?
I just think it's crazy. You had no idea. But that's
Yeah,
cool
no.
too.
No idea. Honestly, I'm a guy that because I pitch to contact, I give up singles. So I'm not really sitting there thinking of like, I'm not trying to give up a hit. I'm more just like really one pitch at a time. Like as cliche as that sounds, that's really what I try and do. Like, okay, what's the count? What was his last swing? What did his swing tell me? Is there runners on? Is there not? How many outs? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking about like I'm not thinking about external like results. I'm just thinking about like in the moment every factor and then make my pitch.
Do you have a game ball from that game?
I believe so, yeah.
And
I
who's
either have a
catching?
game ball or I have the lineup card. I like lineup cards a lot. My dad likes those, so I try and always get one a year or something cool for him or like a ball. But I'm pretty sure I had the lineup card. I want to say
Do you remember who was catching? Was it Hubbard or Solis?
it was Hubbard.
That dude's another
I'm pretty
dog.
positive it was Hubbard. I'll feel bad if it was Max, but I think it was Bryce. I'm almost positive it was Bryce.
It's crazy just to name all these names from that squad, how talented you guys were.
No doubt.
Just so talented from up and down. The pitching
doubt.
staff with Adiel, you, Jorge.
No
just
doubt.
Loaded.
%. I mean, you had, I think it cut out for a second, but you said Jorge?
Yes.
Yeah, like, guy struck out 100,000 people that summer. Adiel had a great summer. Shout out Adiel. Congrats to him, too, signing with the Braves. I'm trying to think. It was just fun.
Oh, you had Seth Clausen, who went to the Rockies?
Yeah. He just signed, too.
With the
He got
Rockies.
drafted, I believe, yeah. Congrats to him. I loved Seth. Seth was an awesome dude. No, yeah, that's what like made it so fun, that it was very talented guys, but they were good dudes, which sometimes you don't always get that at times, but great dude. We had not a pitcher, but Bruggeman, the first baseman from Oak State too,
yep.
who smashed.
Colin.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. We just had dudes.
Right.
We just had dudes. We had really good dudes.
Yeah, that's why I was like interested about your season in Kenosha, where you guys didn't, do the best. Because like all of our interviews have been with like recent Chucks, who all they do is have won. It's like we could never really get that, perspective of what it was like to not have a great season in the Northwoods League.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I wasn't there as long though. So it's kind of hard to give like a really good answer. Wausau, I was there for a long time.
I wish it would have been all year, but
Yeah, inning counts. That's how it is. But
Yeah.
but yeah, Kenosha, we were coming off the regional with West Virginia, so we literally finished the regional, and it was basically like, so I had a contract to the Cape, but the Cape was basically like we can't necessarily like guarantee him a lot of innings per se, like we don't know, it's gonna depend and that whole thing. So I was like, I would rather go to the Northwoods and get a lot of innings, because that was basically like the agreement, like, hey, like you'll for sure get innings, get your work in, because I was still like, I want to get work in. I felt like I didn't throw the ball as well as I wanted to for sure, and I didn't throw as much as I wanted to for sure. So I was like, coming off that regional, I was just hungry. We lost. I felt horrible. So I was like, kind of like that losing thing. I was like, I got my butt kicked. I want to go back out there and go get on the right side of things, go work and have a little freedom to go out there and work on the things I want to work on. And it was great. I threw, I think 20 or 25 innings quick, and then got my work and got out of there. So I wasn't there that long.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot, okay?
Yeah.
Direct on the spot. So be
All
ready.
right.
Which is the better stadium? Athletic Park or where Kenosha plays?
Oh, Wausau.
Are you just saying that because you're on the Chucks pod?
No, I loved Wausau.
Okay, great.
I would love to see the new one.
Oh, with the turf?
Yeah, with like the new, like all the improvements and stuff. Because I mean, I loved it last year the way it was. So like seeing it now, obviously, like I'm not there, but like on Instagram and all that stuff, it looks amazing.
The turf looks really good.
Yeah,
I heard it's hard to slide on, but other than that,
yeah. I mean, hey, they'll definitely. Even though the field really did hold well with weather, like there was games we got in that I was like, there's no way that we were supposed to play that game. But now, it's no brainers now. But no,
there's no more pulling tarp. Remember,
Yeah,
you guys had to go pull that damn tarp?
Yeah, they have a funny photo of me in that. But yeah, no, I loved Wausau. Wausau was awesome for sure. I'll even like the bullpen setup. I really enjoyed, like just that little cage and left. Basically, you just like, it's perfect though. It's like they had the plyo wall and left too, and I really liked the lines in Wausau, like how there's like the fans are on you and they're right there, like literally as you're throwing, like they can high five you and do stuff like that. Like I thought that was super cool. Like it didn't feel like far.
Did you see now when the Woodchucks hit a home run, they climbed the fence in the bullpen?
That's awesome. That's awesome. You gotta show love to the pen, which hitters always do. So
Yeah.
Oh, we love the pen. That's right where we stand. We stand down third.
yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, so being like a Florida a Florida guy, like you said, and just playing down south. Had you heard of the Northwoods League before you played in it?
Yeah, I had, because in South Florida, like I remember my freshman year when I was in the South Florida Collegiate League, some of the coaches I overheard, and they were kind of like talking to some of the guys. They're basically like, if you get an opportunity to go to the Northwoods or the Cape, we have no like hard feelings or not. Like we will 100% back you. We're not going to fight you. We're not going to be like, no, we need you to stay in the South Florida League or whatever. Like they were like, those are better opportunities. Those are like two debate. Some people debate it, but they say either the Northwoods, like the NECBL or whatever, like competes for the second best league in the country. I don't get into those debates, but they were always just basically like, if you get one of those opportunities, definitely go, because it's really good competition, and obviously like kids get drafted out of the Northwoods. Like I think people think it's always the Cape, and it's like I know multiple guys that have signed or got drafted out of the Northwoods. Like they're scouts. There were scouts at probably every one of our games.
So when you came to the Northwoods League, was that your first time with like a host family experience, living with someone
Yeah.
else? And how was that for you?
It was different for sure. Like it was definitely like I was definitely anxious because I was like, host family. That's kind of like, how does that work? You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Like you're in someone else's home. But they were so like inviting and cool and just like normal. It was literally just like, hey, like whatever you need, let us know. We're basically here to just help and be a part of the experience. And so that on that part, like definitely new to me. It was kind of weird. Like obviously like the first night's a little like you got to figure out like how they operate. You don't want to get in their way at all. Obviously, you don't want to make it uncomfortable for them, and they're trying to make it comfortable for you. So it's a little bit of an adjustment period for sure, but it's definitely cool. And I've had 2 really good experiences with it, so can't complain.
How was the grind your first time in Kenosha, going through that grueling schedule, and then again in Wausau?
I love it. I love it. I love all that. That's what I say to guys. Like even when I'm at school, I'm like, if you love baseball and like you want to be around the dudes every day and like constantly have stuff to do, go there. But if you don't really love it, and you're like, if you're one of those dudes like, oh, we gotta go to the field today, definitely don't go. But I'm a guy where like, especially when I'm home in the off season, like to me, it's so boring. It's so boring. You can only lift and throw so much, and then at the rest of the day, like I'm not a guy that like does like crazy hobbies and stuff. So I think that like what people call like the grind or whatever, I'm like, I love it. Yeah, you have something to do every day, and the routine, like I just love that. Where in both spots, Kenosha and Wausau, if we had the 6 o'clock or 6:30 or 7 o'clock game, whatever, and you had to be there at 2 or 3, it was great for me. Wake up, make breakfast, go to the gym, come back, shower, change, go to the field, BP game. You get to watch a free baseball game every day. You're in the dugout. It's awesome. That's really like those are your memories. Though. Like I think that's what people don't understand sometimes. Like especially in college, there's the turnover rate is so crazy, even in these summer leagues, because everyone's on pitch counts or they're there to get recruited because they're in the portal. Then once they sign, they leave or they get cut or whatever it is. So you meet so many people and it's fun. Like it's refreshing because it's like it'll be a new face or and you honestly get the inside scoop of all the different programs, which is cool too. You get to say, hey, what's it like at Miami? What's it like at Oklahoma? What's it like at Oak State? What do you guys learn? What do you guys teach? What's your guys' philosophy? Like you get to actually learn if you try and pick guys' brains and be like, just learn. And it's I thought it was cool too. Like it opened my eyes and definitely made me like appreciate it more talking to some of the JUCO guys or NAIA or D2, D3 that are like that were telling me like I've never played in front of 200 people, and they were like, this is crazy, this is the most people I've ever played in front of my life. And then I was sitting there thinking like I was like completely different experience at Tulane, where it's like first game there's probably 2,000, 2,500 people, your first game as a freshman, here you go, like let's go. And then let alone some of the guys that are like top SEC where it's like 15,000 was their first college game. So I think that stuff is so cool because it rounds you much better. It rounds you out, and you have much different perspectives versus being so narrow minded of like I only know my school. I only know the kids at my school that do it this way, and that is it. Like you learn, like honestly, I think you learn so much from other guys. Like especially on our team, like me and Adiel talked a bunch of like, hey, you faced so and so last week. I'm facing them next week. What did you see? How did you pitch them? And vice versa. And that's fun. Or like, hey, who do you train with in the off season? What do you guys learn? Or like, what do you think of this? Or what do you think of that? Or this plyo drill or this long toss or whatever. And I think you make the most strides like as a player, even if you don't necessarily like hold on to everything, you at least heard everything. And I think that experience is I love that. I miss that for sure. I miss it for sure.
So if you had to choose between like winning or like pitching, it's like say you could go to a big school, not pitch as much, but you guys are gonna legit win, versus going to a smaller school. You're not gonna win, but you're gonna pitch a lot more.
Pitch for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I think like I think anyone that it's like the debate of do you like winning more than you hate losing, or do you hate losing more than you love winning?
Right.
Me, I love winning. I like that's the unpopular answer of like everyone wants to hear I hate losing and this and that. But to me, that's part of it. Like losing is more there's a higher percent you're gonna lose at things more than like most of the time than win. So I appreciate winning, and I think that's what makes winners like so revered and loved and all that because it's so hard. Like
Right.
people love winners because they win. Anyone can lose. Like that's not.
Yeah.
But I think but back to what I was saying. Like I think people that say that, I don't know. Like we put in all this work, you do all this training to play. I think that's the
Right.
whole point. Like you do all this to be the guy with the ball, helping your team win. So me personally, with the goals I have of playing professionally, 100%, I want to pitch. If I could pitch every day, I would.
Yeah.
If there wasn't rest and all that stuff you had to do, I would
Yeah.
love to go out there. I'll throw 100 pitches every day. Give me the ball, I'll throw it all.
Speaking of playing professionally, are you done with college now?
I have one more year.
So unless you get picked up this year as an undrafted free agent, you're going back to Central Florida?
Yeah, I'll be heading back to UCF for my last year because I had that one red shirt year that we talked about earlier, the 2-time transfer. So I've played 3 seasons. This will be my 4th season, but my 5th year.
So if you get picked up by a team, that's a for sure pass, or does it matter what the situation is?
I think right now, if I got an opportunity, I would more than likely go, but
Right.
It just depends.
Have you had any interest from major league teams?
Not to me personally, but we have like advisors and stuff that we hear stuff through, and basically like they're the relay. So I just hear information through them. But in terms of a team directly calling me, offering me a contract, no.
Can't you have an agent with the NIL stuff? Like, couldn't you have an agent that could handle that for you? Or no, not yet?
I mean, I don't know exactly like the terminology and all that stuff, but we call them advisors.
Okay. Oh, so it's basically an agent.
Yeah.
Kinda. Okay.
They're not our agent, though. They're our advisors.
Okay. I get it. Yes, your advisor. Got it.
Yes, sir. And then when you're signed, they're your agent.
Okay.
Because now you're a professional.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I read your favorite athlete is Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you like about Kobe?
I mean, I think I fell in love with like I feel like when I was young, so I was a fan of him before he died. Unlike, I mean, a lot of people, which is great though. Like sometimes like that's great. Like his message got even bigger. I feel like after he died, like that made that much more of an impact. But I was probably like 13, 14 when I really started like watching his videos and listening to him and watching his podcasts and stuff like that. And I just think it resonated so heavy with me, like so many of his, like how wise he was, but also how direct and how serious of like the way he went about his career. I fell in love with and I admired, and I was like, I'm gonna do everything in my power to take what he did and do it my own way, and in some areas do it more, and in some areas do it less. So I think, and that's helped me so much in my career. The way like just that really like he really was like relentless, like in every sense of the word, of just like not like it was only like it was I compare it obviously not comparable, but like how well military mindset is, where it's like you have a task and you do everything in your power to succeed, and if you don't succeed, anything short of what exactly the goal was, you failed, and you keep going until you get to that success. And I think Kobe definitely like put that into a sports avenue. Obviously, we're not risking our lives for our country and stuff like that, not at all. I'm not comparing that at all, but the mindset of him like winning rings, or okay, you're doubting me, I can't be the MVP, I'm going to spend the entire summer dribbling with my left hand so I can get better with my left, to
Yeah.
shoot with my left, to be that much more diverse. And I think it's the same thing in baseball, where it's like, okay, if you have, say if you threw, I don't know, 40 innings with a 3.5, something like that. To me, that's like, okay, great. Now that's feeding your confidence and like, okay, I can have success. But then what's the next step? The next step would be, okay, can I get a 2.5? And can I go 60 innings with a 2.5? Or like nitpicking versus like sitting back and being like, yeah, I'm pretty good. Like, no, I never like that. I think it's always like, if it can be better, it should be better. And if you're not doing everything in your power to make it better, you're wasting your time. If
Yeah,
you're
it's just
trying to
like
be the best, if that's your
yeah.
goal, which that like for me, my goal has always been like to maximize my personal potential. And obviously, like that's a big feat, because that means you're conquering basically like every part of yourself to get the most out of yourself, which is extremely hard to do.
Well,
But
it's
I
just
think
never being satisfied too.
exactly,
You know, just not being content.
100%. And I think that like especially that word and like trust the process really does get so like overused, and like not really like, sometimes it becomes like dull. It loses its sharpness of like what it really means, like unrelent, or like never satisfied. Like I think like that kind of gets thrown around too much sometimes, where it's like never satisfied literally means never satisfied. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
then like you have to learn and grow with that too, because especially it's not. That's what I learned through the years of being such a big fan of him and his mentality. Though, is baseball is different. Like, and not only that, talent levels are different. All like this was one of the greatest basketball players of all time, where he can grab the ball and be like, all right, I'm taking over the game. We're winning. Baseball, like, there's 9 innings. Unless you go CG every game and literally basically go scoreless every game, you're not going to win every game. And you still have 8 guys or 7 guys behind you, 1 in front of you, that everyone's working together. Like, same in basketball, but not at the same time. So it's just
Right.
different.
Right.
But yeah, 100% Kobe for sure. I think his mindset and the way he went about his career, like that's what I try and do. I try and every day, like at the end of the day, I can sit there and be like, I gave it everything I have, and if I wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna do the same thing again.
Do you
And I
have any
think
baseball players that you look up to?
Yeah, growing up, cliche answer was always Derek Jeter. Um, I had him on a fat head in my room, right over my bed. Derek Jeter for sure. Always loved CC too. CC Sabathia, I love just like the way he
Beast.
pitched and his swag and everything. I think definitely when I first started pitching, young Marcus Stroman, like Blue Jays Marcus Stroman, like I was like, bro, that guy is unreal. Like his mentality and like the just like not proving people wrong, because he was a first round pick, but proving
Right.
people wrong in the sense of like, oh, you're too small, and he's like, okay, watch this. And coming back from his ACL, like all that stuff. I think like him for sure. When I was playing shortstop, I loved watching Andrelton Simmons. I just thought he was like his arm and the plays he'd make in the hole. I was just like, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Or like plays of him where he falls to his butt and still throws a guy out, like when he slipped, stuff like that. I'm trying to think who else.
who's are the Yankees your team?
Yankees and Marlins. Because obviously I'm born from here, but my dad's entire side of the family is from New York. And he's actually a Mets fan growing up, but me being like a kid, like a defiant little kid, like I'm gonna pick
Yeah.
this team that you didn't pick. So yeah, both of those teams.
So you a
Yeah, the
Dolphin guy?
Marlins.
What do you say?
Are you a Dolphin guy?
I'm not. I really don't watch any other sport but baseball.
Oh, okay.
But
I
I guess
see you work out at Perform.
yeah.
My other question was, have you ever ran into Tua?
I've thrown with him before. So they do like is Tua your guy?
I love the Dolphins right here.
Okay,
Got a
gotcha.
chair over
Okay, yeah, I
here.
didn't see it. All right, so that's pretty cool. So I'll give you a cool one. So Nick Hicks, who's the
Yeah.
owner of Perform, they
Before
do-
you speak, when you said Nick, Dolphins Twitter, he's on that thing all the time, sticking up for Tua. So I knew the name as soon as you said that.
yeah. So Nick was his trainer for a couple years. So that's funny. That's so funny. But Nick's the man. I love Nick. So I've been going to Perform since I was like 15. So these guys are like big brothers for sure, like actual big brothers to me. Nick, Talon, Zach, all those guys. And they throw out a park, not gonna name the park obviously, but they do all their routes and NFL receivers are out there. So like Zay Flowers, I went to high school with him. He's with the Ravens. They train Lamar. I was actually throwing the other day, not footballs, but baseballs at a certain high school, and Zay and Lamar walked in and they were about to go get a workout in. South Florida's crazy. But they were all throwing out a park, and they're basically like, they knew I could throw the football. I always grew up throwing the football, and they're like, hey, we have too many receivers for the amount of quarterbacks we have there. Tua doesn't want to throw that much, and this other, I forgot, I told you, I really don't watch football, so I don't even, but there was some other quarterback there, and they're like, you mind coming out throwing routes? And I was like, you want me to throw routes to these NFL guys? They were like, yeah. And I was like, I mean, I'll try. Like, I'm not a quarterback. These guys are going to be pissed. Like, they're out here trying to get their work in. Some of these guys are on $1 million contracts. I'm out there just throwing the football. But yeah, I got there and Tua was there, and he was actually a really nice guy. I'm laughing because I was throwing the routes and he's like, yeah, bro, don't worry about it. Just throw, like, you go. And I was like, bro, I don't even play football. Like, you go. You go. He's like trying to, like, he thought I was like a high school or college kid. He was like, get your reps in. And I was like, no, you get your reps in. I don't even play. And he was like, you don't play football? And I was like, no, I play baseball. And he was like, what do you, like, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah. I was like, Nick told me you guys needed more guys to throw. And they weren't doing anything crazy. They were like 5-yard slants and digs, like little like routes, just like they literally needed someone to throw it to the sidelines and stuff. But that was definitely pretty cool. And then me and Nick actually were in, I don't know who wrote it. I could send it to you if you're a fan of that stuff for sure. But Nick asked for my help a little bit, and we like collaborated on making Tua's throwing program. Because I guess he had like a hip shoulder surgery out of college.
Yeah, in Bama.
Yeah.
Pretty serious, yeah.
Yeah, and they were like his draft stock preview, whatever. Like I guess Nick, remember this is like years ago, but Nick was saying like to make him that much more valuable, they want to see him throw like the deeper ball. I guess that was like in question. I don't know. But there was a cool article with me and Nick talking about like me showing him like weighted balls and wrist weights and all that stuff. And I was like, try it. Like it's all the same. Like it's the same stuff. It's like building your arm through overload and underload and changing the stimulus and whatever. That offseason, I guess Tua made like a 15-yard increase in his max throw. So that was really cool. Then Nick just randomly sent me the article one day, and he's like, "Look, we're in this article together." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
That's really cool.
Yeah,
that's actually really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But I didn't obviously work with Tua. I was around him for that one day. But I just showed Nick, and he took videos of the weighted ball stuff, and then he took that with Tua and did all the hard stuff of programming it and what days and intent and mount and all that stuff. But super small piece.
Now, do you get starstruck around all these guys?
No,
or not really.
Half the time I don't even know who they are. Honestly, but I also like, it's also different growing up in South Florida, like especially the high school I went to. So like again, like back to what we talked about, like of being around guys that are just like really good at. So yeah, dude. So like Zay Flowers, I went to high school with. Kenny McIntosh, I went to high school with. They're both in the NFL. Scotty Barnes, who's in the NBA. I think he won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, with Toronto.
Yeah, I had classes with him. We had a camera class together. Vernon Carey went to same high school. He was at a Duke. I think he was a first rounder at a Duke for basketball. I know I'm probably forgetting somebody, but so much I mean, people in my own grade. Marcus Tate, one of my best friends growing up, he signed a free agent with the Eagles. So like not like it's weird. Like
Yeah, that makes sense. Now that you're
yeah,
not starstruck. Yeah.
yeah. When my own like people I've known like seen every day in class with like Scotty, that was pretty like that was incredible seeing what he did and like I was in class with him 2 years ago. Like at that time or whatever it was, like that's pretty crazy. Zay obviously. But yeah, I mean, especially in South Florida, you see that stuff all like there's so many crazy like but it's more crazy I think of like not necessarily starstruck of the person, but
Okay.
no problem. It's more crazy of like what they've done. I feel like that's what really like amazes me. Like that's pretty like it's awesome. Like being in perform and seeing these guys like exactly what we are talking about. Like all these NFL guys, it's like wow, that's pretty cool.
It's cool just listening to it. I'm a big football guy. Well, sports
Oh
guy all
yeah,
around, but
yeah. No, those guys are talk about athletes. They're definitely freak athletes for sure. You see them in there, the way they lift and the jumping and just how explosive they are. It's like wow. Well, so if you like that stuff, I'll give you a perfect example. So obviously, me not being a football player and throwing the routes to these guys, you don't know how fast they are. So like I'm trying to lead them as they're running, and I think like my second throw landed behind the guy. And I was like, "Oh my god, these guys like you actually have to throw it 10, 15 yards and let them just go and run and grab it." So like that it was just crazy. I was like, "These guys fly." Fly. Or like Tua throwing like just how different like the spiral looks and like throwing like 45, 50-yard passes to guys that run like, "Oh, this guy ran a 4.3 at the combine." I was like, "A 4.3?" Like, yeah, ran a 4.3, jumped a 40-inch vert. Like, whew, that's nuts.
that's wild.
Yeah, wild.
So speaking of working out and stuff, what is your pregame routine when you're gonna start? What does that look like?
Oh, pregame routine. Uh, it just so normally I do. I'm very like I'm pretty not unique is the word, but like uncommon in the sense of like I love long distance max, like not max, but close to max intent long toss, like airing it out, which a lot of guys don't do. So I'm big on that. That normally takes me like I give myself like 10 minutes of that. Like it's all like timed up for sure, but if you want to like start beginning, when I start my warm up, I have like either if we're at home, I'm on the aux normally, or I'm just in my earbuds depending on like the vibe. I roll out like I'll roll like the bottom of my feet, hips, elbow, shoulder, my traps just to get everything loose and everything. Then I'll foam roll a little bit. Then I'll do all like mobility stuff. Then I normally at UCF because we do like jump testing before our starts on force plates to it's basically a readiness score. So we would do that. So if it's a 7 o'clock game, that would be at 6:15. So I would do my dynamic warm up starting at 6. Do like a 10-minute dynamic, 6:15, like on 6:15. Do my one or two jumps, get the iPad score. Okay, you're good to go. Do whatever else you want to do. Get like a little drink, relax for a second. Do my J bands. Go down to the field. Do all my plyo ball stuff like reverse throws, all that stuff. That probably takes 10 minutes. And then I do 10 minutes of toss. And then I give myself 10 minutes on the mound. And then I give myself about like 7 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes anthem. Walk down. And then I have like that 5 minutes before. Then it's like, all right, you ready to go? Yep, let's go. Go out on the field. And then it's your however many pitch. Well, now it's with the time clock. So it's the 2 minutes or the minute 30, whatever it is by the time you actually get out there. Throw your pitches and it's let's go.
What about like a pregame meal or anything? Do you eat the same thing
Pre-game
for every
meal,
game?
I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not one of those guys that eats the same thing every time. I'm kind of just like, hey, whatever's around, I'll snack on. But I'm not big on eating. I like feeling light stomach and jittery and adrenaline. I'm an adrenaline guy. Like I need that adrenaline to really like get going because if not, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna be sitting 89 with no adrenaline. Or just kind of like, all right, I'll just throw these sinkers in here versus like especially as a guy right now, like trying to go pro, like they want to see velo and all that stuff. So this year I really worked on that of trying to be more 92, 94 of like getting myself going of like, hey, let's go, like get on it from the start. So that's what I would do. But it just depends. It really just depends. especially in my apartment, maybe like that morning I'll make like some eggs and an omelet. Then right before the field, maybe like a little pasta or sometimes I'll eat the pregame meal at the field, like whatever the school, like whatever UCF or whoever got for us. I'll just be like, all right, I'll have a little bit of that, and then just maybe like an Uncrustable an hour and a half before the game, just to get a
Are
little
you,
carbs in me.
are you a sunflower seed guy?
Huge.
What's
I
your
love
favorite
seeds.
flavor?
Talkies.
The
Wow.
bigs?
Yeah, the Talkies flavored. Those are insane. Those
Yeah,
are
see,
those were a hot commodity in the Wausau dugout.
really?
Oh
Yep.
yeah, we'd crush those.
Yeah, my
That's what
favorite is the bigs dill pickle.
dill
Like
pickle.
that's
You can't go wrong with dill pickle.
no the
Nah,
best.
I'm a barbecue guy, but I don't mind dill pickle. But you can go wrong with them if you don't have the right brand. They could be too salty or whatever. The baked dill
Yeah,
is really good.
wrong brand. I agree with that. But that's like any of the seeds too.
Yeah.
But I think yeah, I would say probably the Talkies. Talkies are ranch, but then ranch can get dangerous too sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ranch can get dangerous.
The safe flavor for bigs is bacon. You can't go wrong with those at any time.
Bacon. I don't think I really have had a lot of bacon.
Oh, you gotta get back on them. They're
Got
really
it.
good.
The one I might get killed for this. I do not like the taco ones.
Oh, I like those.
yeah,
See,
so good. Yeah,
I knew it. I'm not big. I don't know what it is. I just they don't do it for me.
do they provide you with seeds in Wausau,
No.
or you just whatever you guys bring?
Yeah, whatever. We would always stop at Quick Trip.
Yeah,
Quick Trip
Max
was like,
loved Quick Trip. Max Galvin.
our whole team did.
Oh, so you liked Quick Trip too?
I mean, that's the only place we went. That was pregame and postgame.
what was your favorite like hot food to get at Quick Trip?
So I would always get the rotisserie chicken. I try and eat
Yeah.
pretty clean. So I would always get the that was a godsend, honestly, because even pregame, like you go walk to Quick Trip, I think it was like $5, like $5.99, something
Yeah.
crazy like that for a whole rotisserie chicken. And then I would me and a couple of guys would just get that and bring it back to the locker room, and that would be our pregame meal, and like that holds you over for hours.
Yeah, their
And
chicken
it's
is
good.
so good. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good. It's actually good. So, but yeah, that was the spot. We were always at Quick Trip.
yeah.
What's that one song, speaking of adrenaline, that just gets you ready to run through a wall?
Like your go-to song.
Your go-to to
I
get
don't know
pumped
if it
up.
gets me to run through a wall, but like where I know like it's kind of like that like real switch. Like, all right, now we're going.
Yeah.
Is Many Men by 50 Cent. That's been my
Mm.
walkout song all the way from my freshman year of high school to now.
I just watched your mixtape that had that on there. That's so cold.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, our media. I appreciate that. Our media people put that together because that's literally like since my freshman year of high school when I was on varsity. Every single team I've ever been on, Tulane it was the same, West Virginia was the same, and then at UCF obviously it's the same. So that's kind of my like. I know it's game time. Like when that beat goes, it's like all right,
Yeah.
now we go.
Yeah, so when I was taking notes here just on you before, I saw you like your different pictures from like Tulane and West Virginia. I noticed you like switch up your facial hair a lot. Is that something? And then you showed up with the goatee. Is that something you do often, or?
I get bored.
Yeah,
I get bored, and it's kind of like, why not? And same with
Yeah.
my hair. Like I've had my hair super curly and long, and then sometimes I'll get waves, and sometimes I'll just leave. Like I'm growing it out right now. Speaking of it, like in the summer, I was like, I'm bored. I'm just gonna get a fade and then just let it grow and see what it does. And like, yeah, especially like my facial hair and my hair is super versatile because I don't have like super coarse, like insane curly hair, but I don't have straight hair. So I can like my hair will grow out, and like if the longer it gets, it'll get like curlier. But then also if I wear like a do rag and brush it out, I can get waves and stuff. So kind of whatever I want.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely switch it up. Mustache, no mustache, goatee. The only thing I don't ever really shave is this. Even though I have had my face fully clean though.
Have you ever rocked just the mustache? Like not even
I can't
this?
do it. I
Yeah.
can't do it just the
Yeah.
mustache.
Who's the most famous person in your phone right now?
Oh my god. Most.
Well, you said you went to school with all these guys. I'm
Yeah,
wondering
I would
who the
probably say
most
Zay.
famous.
I'd probably say Zay Flowers.
That's
Or
awesome.
I mean, nah, probably Zay. I would say it used to be Scotty, but I haven't talked to him in years. Like he kind of did his thing and kind of like went to the NBA and stuff like that happens. But Zay, I see on a pretty like regular basis. I would say kind of because we both train there, and I've just known him forever. So probably Zay. Maybe I mean maybe JJ, depending on how like he keeps progressing for sure. Like he's gonna be in the bigs in the next week probably. They're probably gonna call him up.
What about Max Galvin?
I don't know if Max is famous, but
Not yet.
not yet. No, but I definitely have Max's number. That's a good question. Maybe Alec Manoa, maybe. I don't know.
So you got a few. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know you said you're not a football guy, but like back in 2017, I think you were like 15. F went undefeated, beat Auburn in the Peach Bowl, and then claimed they were national champs. Do you know about that?
I've heard about it. Yeah,
Yeah. What do you think about that? Claiming a national championship.
I am uneducated on all of that, so I don't even have
Okay.
an opinion on it.
So you're pleading the fifth.
I'm pleading that I don't even know
Okay.
to have an opinion on it.
Okay.
I have no idea. I was never football like it was never pushed on me from my dad or anything. Like we weren't like a sit down, we're watching football, like stuff like we don't none of that. Like I played tackle football, I think 7th and 8th grade, and then I was like, yeah, I don't love this. Like I don't enjoy getting hit. I'm not one of those guys that's like, yeah, I love getting hit and all that. Nah, I'm good. I was like, I'll stick with baseball. I love baseball. Honestly, if I'm sitting down, like if I'm gonna watch something, I'm gonna watch something to try and like learn something. I'm big like I'll watch podcasts or watch like YouTube. I love just because you get to see like I don't know like the Slab Lab. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but like Dallas Braden, he goes and talks to all these MLB guys, and like he'll go with them to the field and be like, "What do you do?" Like Tariq Skubal and all these guys that he's done it with. Like that's what I like to watch. Football, especially because I don't know enough about it. Like obviously I know the fundamentals, but I would love to like if I really knew it. Like that's a zone 3 or whatever. Like all those different stuff, I would enjoy it more. Like how I know baseball. Like watching the game within the game. Like you watch an MLB game. Like I can be like, okay, he's probably gonna throw this here or that shift or this and that. Like that's more like mentally intriguing for me.
This just came up at the Little League World Series yesterday. There was a kid on second base, and the other team got mad because he was sign stealing or doing something else. What do you feel as a pitcher? Is that poor sportsmanship? Is that gamesmanship? What's your take as a pitcher?
Maybe I am uneducated on this as well, like the history of it or like the taboo of it. But I think that's on you.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Like I think if you're tipping, that's on you. If the catcher's like literally doing this and like everyone in the park can see, that's on you guys to hey, timeout, come out. We're going third sign and with a runner on or we're chasing outs or whatever. Like that is completely on you. Now, like the Astros stuff, that's like
Right.
that's different. But I think
Banging on trash cans.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I think if a guy at second base is looking in my glove, I'm showing you clearly it's like it's my fault. And I think I learned that though a lot with Coach Mays at West Virginia. He actually had us a lot of the starting pitchers, and I think all the pitchers did it, but I know us three, me, Hamp, and Trax, they would give us papers during the fall, and it was different. Like it would be like glove, back knee, this, whatever, and we would all hold each other accountable and do that and chart for each other from third base, second base, and first base, trying to pick up any tipping on each other. We would do it on all of us, the entire pitching staff. So I think like having that experience and just like the way I am, I think it's on you. Because at the end of the day, like hitting, like I don't know, I feel I don't know. Is it? Some would argue, is it Bush League if we pick something up in our dugout or something like that, and we go first name fastball, last name off speed? Is that our fault or is that y'all's fault?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think, and especially at that age, like
They literally stopped the game and the umpire went off and talked to the tournament director. Nothing happened, but they literally postponed the game to go talk and see what they should do about it.
And then the first pitch after they came back, the kid like cranked a grand slam or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or a
grand
home
slam
run, at
out to
least?
left, just moonshot.
well, I'm a big believer in ball don't lie too.
Right.
Like I don't know. I struggle because I've been on like situations where we might get our butt kicked the night before, then all of a sudden the next day you start hearing they had our signs or we were tipping, and I'm kind of like figure it out. Like I know if I went out there and gave up 6 and my first response the next day is I was tipping, you're gonna lose a lot of respect from a lot of people. That's not on in my opinion, me personally. That's not on you to say. If someone else says it, the other team tells you, "Hey, we had you." Okay, then like, all right, they did. But I think like it's the same thing when guys maybe have a bad out and they come back the next day. Oh, dude, my shoulder was hanging, and it's like, would you be saying that if you went 6 scoreless? Like stuff like that. So I think to answer your question, I don't think that's Bush League. I don't think that's insane. I don't think people need to get hit for that. At the higher levels, obviously, when they're 12, they're not going to do that. But you see in the bigs where guys will hit somebody for being like, "I saw you at second," or "I thought whatever." It happened the other day.
Yeah, the bench is cleared. It was the Astros and Red Sox.
Yeah, where he intentionally walked them and then like started talking. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I'll just be like, better stop tipping.
What do you think about how catchers catch nowadays, where they have their glove up and then they drop it versus just holding the target? Would you rather the target be there, or does that matter to you?
It was definitely an adjustment for me for sure. I think it's a lot of moving parts, especially in my experience from talking to other pitchers and learning from other guys. Some guys look at where they want to start the pitch. Some guys look at where they want to end the pitch. Some guys can like, I struggle with this, but it was an adjustment I had to make where I used to be big, like, just leave it. Like it drove me insane. Like, because I look at my target and I lock in, especially I'm always out of stretch. So I'm like, come set. Okay. Sinker away. So I'm thinking about bringing it back. So like, that's hard enough as it is. Like if you're going glove side sinkers to actually like hold plane and get it to come back and have your visual. So I used to be like that, but then I had coaches where it's like, they were like, you got to figure it out and they're going to catch the way they're going to catch and you're making excuses. So I was like, okay, like definitely didn't mean it to be an excuse, but okay, make an adjustment where now I've gotten better and have learned how to like look at the knee where it's like, okay, I'm going to start it at his knee because I know that's not moving. So he can do whatever he wants right here, but I'm starting the pitch somewhere else. So, I think the best way to put it, if you're good at it, it's great. If you're bad at it, it's not good. I think that's the most simple, best way to put it. Because if you're bad at it, it's too much moving parts, and it actually probably does more of a detriment. Because I think any umpire that sees a lot of movement, it's almost too much. Now you're a bad magician versus the good magician. It's a little super slight, super like it's all just like little turns and stuff like that. And I was super spoiled though. I had Bennett Lee as my catcher as a freshman. He went to Wake Forest when they made that run in the College World Series. There was a crazy stat on him. I could be wrong with the actual stat, but it was something like he was like 2 times better than the average college catcher at framing at the time. And he was an 8th rounder to the Tigers. So that was my first college catcher where he was just insane. Like he was just like, wow, like literally pick it up off the floor and just like bring it to the center, like top rail and just like snap it down. So, yeah, I think it's just an adjustment. And now I'm personally curious of what happens to that with when I think it will happen with the automated strike zones. Does that even matter anymore? Or does it just go to all catchers focusing on can you literally catch the ball? I don't care where. Just can you catch it? Can you block? Can you throw guys out? That would be even more premium. And then focus more on hitting. I don't know if that will happen, but I feel like it's slowly getting to that. Like, can you literally just sit back there, catch 190-mile-an-hour sliders, and throw somebody out if we need you to? That's the only thing we need you to do. And block, obviously, and block. Don't let free runners. But yeah, I think we'll see. It's definitely interesting.
So he caught Chase Burns at Wake Forest.
I believe. Well, was Chase the year after?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think Chase Burns was the year after he got drafted. I could be. No, I'm pretty sure it was the year after he got drafted. But two of my teammates from Tulane went to Wake Forest. Michael Massey, who was our Sunday guy as a freshman, he went there and he made an insane career upgrade, going from like being like guys like 993, and then he got to Wake Forest and was like sitting 93, 96, and then he pitched for Team USA, and then he was a 4th rounder to the Tigers as well. And then Bennett and him both left because our freshman year, a lot of kids transferred because our head coach got fired like 3/4 of the way of the year. So that was a pretty crazy college experience too. Having your head coach fired in the middle of the year. That was definitely interesting.
All right. Then I'm going to ask you the final question.
All right.
We've asked every guest this.
So pressure's on.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
I think a hot dog is a hot dog.
We'll take that as a no.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no. That's like, I don't think hot dogs are at sandwich shops.
Right. Thank
Amen.
you.
We are team
Yes.
no, so you're good.
Yes.
So
The
that's
streak rolls on.
yeah, that's what I think.
All right. Well, we'll let you go on that note. Thanks for working this out for us and coming on and chucking it up with us. You were a great Chuck. You're a Chuck for life, and we hope we see you in the big league someday.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, for sure.
And quickly, do you ever get Klay Thompson?
Did I what?
Everyone ever tell you look like Klay Thompson a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Klay
see it.
Thompson. No, I mean, I get Devin Booker a lot.
Oh, I can see that.
Okay, yeah.
And then when I was younger, I used to get the Ball brothers a lot, LaMelo and Jello.
Yeah.
Depending on like what I had going on at the time, because when I was young, I had a full mohawk, same thing, like curls out, all that. So I looked like, and I had it bleached too, like all the kids' bios were bleaching the hair and all that. So I got LaMelo a lot, but that's a new one though. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Oh, funny enough, the other day I got stopped by a lady and she asked me if I was Miguel from Love Island.
Don't watch the show. I have no idea.
Me neither. I said I don't know who that is.
Dan, do you know who that is?
No, but my daughter watches it, so I'll show her your picture and confirm. I'll let you know.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, Grant. Well, we'll see ya.
For sure. Appreciate you guys.